1 week from today, voters in Massachusetts' 5th Congressional District will elect Ed Markey's successor in Congress. The special election pits Democratic State Senator Katherine Clarke against Republican attorney and businessman Frank Addivinola. He joins us here. Welcome tonight.
Well, thank you for having me.
We, of course, invited your opponent, Katherine Clarke, here, but she's been declining some dual appearances.
Right. This is 8 times in which we've been invited together, and I think it's a responsibility of the candidates to be available, to be heard, and to allow voters to ask questions about their perspectives and what they might offer us as far as constituent services. We
concur, but you can't strong-arm somebody. Why do you think this race isn't getting the same amount of attention, though, that some of the other special elections have, or even when Joe Kennedy ran in the 4th? Sure. Why not?
Well, I think this is a strategy by my opponent, because what has happened is she came off a 7-way Democratic primary. In order to prevail in that election, she needed to actually move herself very far left. And when she comes now into the general election, there's going to be a different base of voters that she'll need to appeal to. And if she were to talk about those progressive views that she has, it's not going to resonate very well with the voters. So, in fact, she's been endorsed by the Democrat Socialist of America 2 times. So basically, that's a communist organization. And that may work in a primary when you have other opponents in the Democratic Party. But right now, many people in the 5th Congressional District, they're worried about jobs and economy. And they need to have a candidate that has some solutions, some good skills that that person can bring to Washington and advocate on behalf of the 5th Congressional District. And I believe that if we were to be on the stage together, my perspective on how I can solve problems coming from the private business sector would resonate very well with the voters, and I would have broad appeal.
But wouldn't some of your other issues be also perceived as maybe too conservative? Some of your positions on guns or immigration, I mean, might those things come forward too?
Well, certainly they will. But if we poll the voters and say, what are people most concerned about? Most people are concerned about jobs and economy. Jobs and economy, number one. And there is a large section of American population and people here in the 5th Congressional District that have similar views to myself. And of course, we do have differences in perspective, but many people are concerned about how is my future, what are the prospects for employment, and how secure do I feel with my economic vitality.
Tell me a little bit about yourself. You have 7 college degrees, biology, technology, law degrees. I mean, impressive. Why did you get so many?
Well, I enjoy school and I enjoy applying myself. And so
did you pay for them all yourself?
I basically did pay for those, and I'll talk real briefly. But in 9th and 10th grade, I grew up in Malden, Massachusetts. So unlike my opponent, I'm actually from Massachusetts, and I'm from the 5th. So coming from Malden, Mass, I came from a working class background. My parents were divorced when I was young, and I needed to look to the future. And so in 9th grade, I enrolled in vocational school, and I was destined to be a plumber. So 9th and 10th grade, I was at the vocational school. And before the 11th grade, I said to myself, well, maybe if I went to college, I could do some things in teaching, for example. So I decided right before 11th grade to go to college. I didn't have a very strong background because I wasn't a great student. I didn't apply myself. But in any event, I was able to earn my way out to Williams College. And after that, I appreciated the fact that I could actually achieve things with hard work and application of effort. I could make a better person of myself. So I decided that I enjoyed school. It's a productive way to spend time. I feel that it gives knowledge to a person and makes you a better individual.
What would be some of your primary focuses in Congress?
My primary focus in Congress is going to be jobs and economy. And what I would propose that we need to do is we need to stimulate small businesses. So there was a proposal recently by the Obama administration that would give a tax credit to small businesses if they were to hire new employees. Well, that only was talk. And as a result of that, many small employers decided, in fact, not to hire anyone because they wanted to have a bigger differential after they hired a new person. So what I would propose is, since small businesses are the driver of the economy, we need to give tax credits for hiring new people. These new employees become what? They become consumers back in their community. They spend money, and that's good for the vitality of the community.
Well, with all your technology background, you should be able to, I mean, don't you think, isn't that really where the jobs are going to be created?
Certainly, high technology is important. I do have training in that. I worked at National Institutes of Health and Biotechnology, and so here I spent 6 years working in the laboratory, so I can appreciate the big employers in the Commonwealth. High technology, biotechnology, healthcare, universities. This is where I have some direct experience. I want to go to Washington. I want to advocate for these large employers as well, and I want to make sure that federal funds come to the community so that we can have young people that graduate from college that have a good future to apply their talents and skills in an enterprise in which they're making products and services that can be used by all of us here in the Commonwealth as well as throughout the United States and beyond.
All right, election is next Tuesday
Next
in the
Tuesday.
5th Congressional District, which has been all jury-rigged around because there's a new configuration. Frank Addivinola, thank you so much and good luck.
Well, thank you.